What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog back with another New York Giants video. And as you can see, I still have not shaven. But don't worry, when you see me tonight at 10 o'clock, I will be completely shaven because this is itching me really bad. So we're going to time to shave and shower. Just got finished crushing legs in the gym, but I wanted to knock this video out. Tell you that I'm going to be live at 10 o'clock. And not only that, I'm going to have a special guest with me tonight. Fisk Vegas will be coming into the dog pound. It should be good. Two of your most opinionated Giants fans on YouTube working together. Should be a good one. Looking forward to that for sure. So hopefully you guys and girls will come on by with your questions. We can talk about this. We can talk about the Evan Ingram video I did. We can talk about whatever you like. I want to talk about Leonard Williams and the New York Giants trying to get something together. Now, we all know that the franchise tag dates, teams can tag, any player that they want between February 23rd and March 9th. March 9th, obviously, being the last day that they can tag somebody. If the New York Giants are going to keep Leonard Williams here, they're going to have to tag him. And that's really what it is. They're not going to get a deal done within the next couple of days, so he's going to have to get the franchise tag. Now, Chris and I talked about this on Talking Giants, because if Leonard Williams hits the free agent market, the New York Giants aren't going to be able to afford him, because there's no doubt in my mind somebody else is going to offer this guy $20 to $21 million a year. The Giants can't go that high with Leonard Williams, and to be quite honest with you, unless the Giants offered him 3 years at $21 million a year, I wouldn't want to do it anyway. We always talk about how it's not the amount of money per year, it's the amount of years. But if some team's going to give Leonard Williams 5 years, $100 or $105 million, you're going to have to let him walk, and that's going to be a shame. Now, the funny thing about the Giants, and some of the fans here, it's amazing how some guys just get really hooked on certain players. I just did a video about Evan Ingram. I want Evan Ingram to go. I don't like Evan Ingram. I don't think Evan Ingram's going to be signed again. I don't know why the Giants would ever give this guy a long-term deal. And that's it. People are like, you got to give him a chance. The guy's been in the league 4 years. How many chances does he get? If we cut Evan Ingram or trade Evan Ingram, we get $6 million back. Why wouldn't you do it? It makes perfect sense. You're going to get a compensatory pick for him anyway. You don't even know where the compensatory pick's going to be. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. But the same people that want to keep Evan Ingram are some of the people that are like, I want to get rid of Leonard Williams. Well, Leonard Williams was incredibly productive last year, 11.5 sacks. And even when he came in here the year before, you could see that the defensive line got a lot better. To me, if you're going to put money into a position, it would be a guy like Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams is a hog molly. Dave Gettleman loves the guys up front. You win the games in the trenches, and Leonard Williams was a very, very good player for us. He stepped up big in that Seattle game. He stepped up big in the last game against Dallas. He stepped up big in big games. Now, like I said before, I always worry about a guy playing for a contract and getting that contract and worrying about, I got paid now I can let my foot off the gas pedal a little bit, and then they're not nearly as good. That's always, a chance that you take. That's always a worry with any player that once they get paid, they don't produce the way that they did when they were playing for the contract. That's something that you got to worry about with every player. Leonard Williams is no different. But if the New York Giants are going to keep Leonard Williams, they're going to have to tag him by March 9th, and then they're going to have to tell him, listen, we're going to put the tag on you, but that way they can at least negotiate that maybe Leonard Williams stays here for a couple $1 million a year less. Maybe the New York Giants can get away with a 4-year, $70 million deal or a 4-year, $75 million deal. Maybe they can get away with a 3-year, $65 million deal, something like that, where he does make over $20 million a year, but it is only for 3 years. You front load the contract, you're out of it in 2 years if he doesn't produce. These are definitely things that they could do. He's only 26 years old. He's still very young. And like I said, he's pretty much the leader of that defensive line. I believe that he makes the players around him better. I just feel like Leonard Williams is definitely a problem for opposing offenses, and it's somebody that you really got to pay attention to. I feel like it would be a massive loss. To me, defense still wins in this league. The ability to run the ball and stop the run still wins in this league. The Giants were able to stop the run pretty good last year, with Leonard Williams up front. And again, he got a lot of pressure up front. He finally played like the guy that was the 6th overall pick in the draft. You don't really want to lose that. I feel like he fits perfectly in Patrick Graham's scheme. It would be a shame to lose Leonard Williams, but again, if this guy hits free agency and somebody offers him that massive contract, I don't think the Giants can compete, and I don't think the Giants want to compete. So it's bittersweet if he goes. Obviously, the Giants would have a lot more money to play with at that point, not giving Leonard Williams all that money, but I just feel like when you have a defensive player that's been that dominant up front, last season, and again, he's in the prime of his career. It's not like the guy is 29 years old or 30 and he's kind of at the back end of his career. He's on the, he's on the downslope of his career. He's still probably got 2 or 3 really, really good productive years which is why I'm all about a 3 or 4 year deal. And I want to give the guy a 5 year deal like they did with, Olivier Vernon. They gave him 5 years, $85 million. I'm pretty sure they gave Janoris Jenkins 6 years for like $62 million or something. It's going to be really interesting to see exactly what happens with these franchise tags, because then, depending on who is tagged and who's not, then the Giants also could know where they could go in free agency. There's a lot of talk that Kenny Golladay may not be tagged by the Detroit Lions. If Kenny Galladay's out there, the Giants have got to make a run at this guy. There's no doubt about that. In my mind, the Giants have got to get a number one receiver here. And if Kenny Golladay, for some reason, does hit the open market, the Giants need him. Like I said, I don't know if they could afford him. I don't know what they could offer the guy, but they got to find a way to do it. There's talks about Kevin Zeitler getting cut. That would be a shame, because I feel like Kevin Zeitler is a really big part of the offensive line. As a young offensive line, he's played very well for us. I feel like he could be a really good leader, but he could be a casualty of the cap, and that's just the way it goes. If you have to get rid of Kevin Zeitler and save your whatever it was, $14 million, I'm not really sure of the numbers, so I didn't really plan on talking about Kevin Zeitler in this video. But if you have to make the move there in order to get a Kenny Golladay, then you have to do it. But when you get a Kenny Golladay, it allows, or Kenny Golladay, Allen Robinson, any pure number one receiver, it allows the Giants to pretty much go anywhere with pick number 11. Whether that's Kyle Pitts, which I doubt Kyle Pitts is going to be there. That's a wing and a prayer for me. I hope that he is there. I doubt it. But if you want to go Devontae Smith, if you want to get Kenny Golladay, go Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle, and you want to double up on the receiver for Daniel Jones, that'd be great. If you want to go Pat Surtain, if he's there at number 11, you could definitely go that route. If you want to go Slater at number 11, you could go that route. You could do a lot of things, and that is something that the New York Giants could definitely look at. Now that I think about it, if they decide that they want to release Zeitler, they could definitely go offensive line in the first round, save all that money, get a rookie contract in there on the offensive line, and put that money towards Kenny Golladay. March 9th is going to be a very, very interesting day. There's no doubt about it, and it gets exciting now because now we're getting close to free agency. And once we know what's going on in free agency, it definitely gives us more clarity on what's going to happen in the draft. And there's a lot of talk about, a lot of speculation. I'll start doing some mock drafts at that point after free agency is done and everything else. And obviously we'll have a lot more content that we could talk about. It's been difficult to talk about a lot of Giants content here because there really hasn't been anything to talk about. This is just kind of, again, speculation and what I think that the New York Giants could do. But they have a lot of options. And it's unfortunate that they don't have a ton of cap space. Now, next year, they're going to have a lot more cap space. And obviously, they'd have a lot more things to do. But depending on what you do this year, again, if you sign Leonard Williams to a long-term deal, obviously that eats at your cap in 2022. So the Giants have a lot of decisions to make, and no bigger decision, in my opinion, than Leonard Williams. I feel like he was our best player last year on the team. I don't think anybody can argue that. I guess you could. If you can argue that Leonard Williams wasn't the best player on my team, maybe you want to go James Bradbury and say he was the best player on the team. I could understand that. I would completely agree with that too. But between the two of them, I think you could flip a coin. I think you could pick a name out of the hat. I think Leonard Williams and James Bradbury were equally as important to this defense, which became pretty much a top 10 defense first year under Patrick Graham. I feel like Leonard Williams is an integral part of what they do on defense. I'd hate to see him leave, but if the Giants don't tag him, I don't think he's going to come back because, again, I think somebody will offer him all that money. And last but not least, obviously, if they do decide to tag him, there is still that, battle between, is he going to get the tag as a defensive tackle or is he going to get the tag as a defensive end? Obviously, Leonard Williams would fight for the defensive end. It's about $2.5 million difference. I think it's like $19 million for a defensive tackle. It's like $21.5 million for a defensive end. So that's another thing that they would have to work out. But in my opinion, the New York Giants need to tag Leonard Williams, and then they have to figure out a contract for him. I don't know if Leonard Williams is playing under the tag or not, but the Giants got at least, I feel like they got to tag him. If they don't tag him, he's going to walk. If they do tag him and he stinks, you can always let him walk next year too. We'll see what happens, guys. That's all I got in this video. Again, I'll be live tonight, 10 o'clock with my man Fisk, Vegas. You ain't going to miss it. I'm going to go shave. I'm going to go shower. I'm going to eat. And I'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. The bad diggity dizzle. I'm out. Peace!